Hello and welcome to Friday Night Tinkerings with Captain Xavier, which sounds cool until you realize that it means that I have nothing better to do on a Friday night than tinker with Nerf guns. I need friends. Anyway, I have one of these. I picked it up at Goodwill, and I like the look of it, and I like the feel of it, but it's got so many locks that it's a pain in the butt to use, including, in fact, an actual lock, which I don't know. So I'm going to open it up and see if I can't make it a little bit easier to use, and then I'm probably going to throw a paint job on it, and who knows what I'll do with it after that. Aha! There is an easy way to get it open. Now that we've yanked everything out of this thing, let's see if we can't figure out what needs to go back in and how. I'll be perfectly honest, there's a bunch of things in here that I haven't a clue what they do. Like this. I don't know what this does, but it looks important. Alright, well, I was able to get it back together. In the end, I never did figure out what on earth that is, or what that is, or what these parts are, or what half of... Well, I know what that stuff is. Yeah, whole bunch of stuff in here. I have no idea what it does. It now works quite nicely, actually. Could definitely use with a heavier draw, which I could probably achieve just by tightening that. I'd be kind of curious to see how tight I can get it before it starts having issues. As I also mentioned, I am still fairly interested in the concept of making these into actual crossbows instead of using a bungee, having an actual spring steel prod, and a solid string. I don't know how much of a draw weight this would be able to take with that, but it's an 8-shot revolver, so that's not a bad capacity, all things considering. Crossbows definitely have their advantages over, conventional weapons. This one's not particularly quiet on account of, just the design of the weapon, but I do have one that's really quiet that fires mega darts, but it is a single-shot one, whereas this is an 8-shot. So I'm going to throw a paint job on this and see how it comes out, and we'll go from there. So. Alright, well, the parts that I plan to paint have all been painted, so we're to the putting it all back together and seeing how it looks stage. The orange paint that I have isn't particularly good for the fine detail stuff, so I ended up going with a gray, but the gray I went with came out so dark, it's basically just light black. So I added a little bit more color onto the prod, and I may go back through and try to add a little bit more color here and there. We'll see how I feel it looks once I get it all together. I will definitely probably throw a Zombie Strike Z right here on both sides just because I really like that. And I think this would be fun for zombie killing because Daryl. Some of the internals, of course, are unpainted because they don't need to be painted. And if you don't need to paint it, I highly recommend you don't paint it because it's just gonna cause things to get gummy. It is together, but it is decidedly, it's a bit monochromatic, even for me. I mean, I like black and orange, so I like there to be some orange, so. Might go ahead and make that orange. That's a little bit of something. Definitely going to splash the Zombie Strike on the side of both of those. Paint job's going to take a hit real quick just because... Interesting. You gotta kind of make it go. It jams ever so slightly under the weight of the string. So I am actually curious enough and I want to chrono it and then play with the string tension a little bit. It's actually averaging about 60, which isn't terrible. Not great, but not terrible. Alright, it's still a bit monochromatic and the paint's still drying, but it now has the Zombie Strike Z's on either side, which I really like. Just because I always like the design and I like killing zombies, so it's fitting. I will probably still tinker with it a little bit, tweak the string tension a little bit, maybe here and there, just to see if it makes a whole lot of difference. It's 9 o'clock at night, so I can't take it out and test it for range, but I will go ahead and do that in the near future to see how well it shoots, particularly how straight it shoots. I'm less worried about range and more about accuracy, because I hunt zombies, and zombies come to you. So this would be a fun little thing to take to an HVZ. Would almost certainly get me eaten really, really quick, because it only has 8-round capacity and doesn't reload easily, but I'm not in it to win anymore. I'm in it for fun, and I think hunting with a crossbow would be a lot of fun. So anyway, go ahead and put your comments, concerns, ideas down in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.